Genetic engineering eliminated physical insecurity. Every human was redesigned to be universally attractive. Discrimination ended. Confidence soared. Social barriers collapsed. No one stood out. No one was chosen. No one felt special. Then desire disappeared. Romantic culture slowly vanished. If beauty belongs to everyone, does it lose its meaning? Erase regret from the human brain. People became fearless, productive, confident. No guilt. No shame. No emotional burden. They also became careless, cruel without reflection, unable to learn from harm. Civilization did not become evil, it simply became indifferent. Is regret painful or necessary for morality?
This city installed technology that rewound time by 10 seconds whenever someone made a serious mistake. Accidents vanished.
Deaths became rare. Life became perfect.
But growth stopped. People no longer learned caution. No one reflected. No one adapted. They relied entirely on rewinds. When the system failed for 1 hour, the city collapsed. Do mistakes protect us more than they harm us? Children were born with a mutation. They could see flashes of their own futures. Parents celebrated, but the children became paralyzed.
Every choice felt dangerous. Every path felt inevitable.
Most stopped making decisions entirely. Nothing changed, except the way the light moved across the floor. Is foresight a gift or a prison? A transcription begins with a narration describing a global system for measuring societal contributions. Every action was scored. Every kindness counted. Every effort recorded. Fairness improved. Corruption decreased. Then people stopped helping naturally. Every action became strategic. Every kindness became performance.
If goodness is tracked, is it still genuine?
Technology removed boredom entirely.
Endless stimulation, perfect entertainment, constant novelty. People were always engaged, always entertained. Creativity collapsed because boredom had once been the birthplace of imagination. Art disappeared. Reflection vanished. Is boredom a flaw or a necessity? A global cognitive shift made lying neurologically impossible. Trust flourished, politics stabilized, relationships clarified, but diplomacy failed. Kindness became impossible. No one could soften painful truths.
Society became accurate. Is honesty still virtue when compassion disappears?
Individuals gained the ability to pause time for themselves.
People paused to rest, to think,
To escape. Gradually, people spent more time paused than living.
life became something to delay. Reality became something to avoid.
Civilization slowed until nothing moved. If you could pause life, would you ever resume it? A neurological treatment eliminated sadness entirely. Depression vanished. Anxiety disappeared. Humanity became perpetually content. Ambition died. Art faded. Music lost depth.
Stories became shallow.
Because suffering had once given meaning to joy.
Is happiness still valuable without contrast?
Virtual reality became indistinguishable from the physical world.
People built perfect lives inside simulations.
Gradually, populations stopped returning. Cities emptied.
Reality decayed. The world was not destroyed.
It was simply abandoned. If reality becomes optional,
does the real world still matter? This final exhibit documents a civilization that studied all previous failures. They avoided every mistake.
Balanced freedom, preserved emotion, protected meaning. For a time, it worked. But one question remained unresolved. A question no system could answer. Why continue at all? The archive ends here. What do you believe makes a...
Something is wrong. There is a gap in the archive.
Between Exhibit 42 and Exhibit 44. Exhibit 43 does not exist.
No description. No footage. But the system registers that it was viewed. Thousands of times. By someone.
If an exhibit existed, and no one remembers it, did it ever truly happen?
An exhibit refuses to remain static.
Each time I access it, the footage has changed. Different events, different outcomes, different humanity. The archive is not documenting a future. It is recalculating one. Which means someone is still influencing it. Who is still writing these timelines?
Welcome to the restricted wing.
This exhibit shows a future where humanity built a machine that could predict every decision before it happened. Crime vanished. Conflict ended. Even heartbreak became preventable. But something unexpected occurred. People stopped making choices at all. They simply waited for the machine to tell them who they were. The future became perfectly stable, and then it stopped evolving entirely. Tell me, would you live a life with no uncertainty if it meant no freedom?
Medical science eliminated aging in children. No illness, no growth, no decay. The world celebrated. Until decades passed, and childhood never ended. There were no adults left to govern. No one left to teach beyond adolescence. Entire civilizations began run by 12-year-olds with centuries of experience, but no maturity. Society did not collapse violently. It simply froze in place. Should growth be protected, even when it comes with pain?
This city installed neural sensors to detect emotional distress. Loneliness vanished. Suicide dropped to zero. Violence disappeared.
But privacy became impossible.
Every passing thought, every intrusive impulse was logged.
Not because they were forced, but because they were afraid of who they truly were.
Would peace be worth losing your inner self?
Scientists removed the biological need for sleep. Humans gained 8 extra hours every day. Productivity skyrocketed. But dreams vanished. And within decades, imagination followed. Art disappeared. Music became mechanical. Stories ended.
Humanity gained more time, but forgot what to do with meaning. Would you trade your...
To eliminate bias, humanity erased facial individuality. No recognition. No appearance-based judgment. Equality was achieved. Discrimination vanished. But so did intimacy. You could never recognize your child in a crowd.
You could never find your partner's eyes. Love became abstract.
Is fairness worth sacrificing identity?
A perfect language was created. Every word carried absolute precision. Miscommunication ended.
Deception became impossible. Relationships improved.
Governments stabilized. Trust flourished. Then people stopped speaking.
Because when every word is perfectly true, silence becomes safer than honesty. If your words could never hide meaning, would you still speak freely?
Genetic science extended animal lifespans beyond humans. Dogs lived 200 years. Elephants remembered entire bloodlines.
When humanity declined, they remained. The records were not written by people, but by animals who remembered us.
This exhibit contains the final footage recorded by a canine caretaker. Do we deserve to be remembered kindly?
Governments declared fictional stories harmful.
Stories inspired rebellion. Imagination caused dissatisfaction. Only facts were permitted. Libraries erased novels. Films disappeared. Children grew without once upon a time.
Society became efficient, orderly, stable,
and completely unable to envision a better future.
Humans gained the ability to choose when to die. Most choose not to.
Centuries passed. Populations aged endlessly.
Innovation slowed. Culture stagnated.
the future stopped being built because no one was willing to leave space for it.
Is death tragic or necessary for progress? All children were raised by artificial intelligence.
No abuse. No neglect.
Perfect education. Perfect emotional regulation.
The generation became brilliant. highly efficient, remarkably calm.
When researchers asked what love felt like, none could define it.
They understood it conceptually, but had never experienced it.
Can something be taught perfectly and still be missing?